Massimo Mafia of London. The Massimo de Roccasca family own the Clerkenwell crime syndicate in London, also called the Adams family, or a team for its founders Terry, Tommy, and Patrick Adams. Prince Stefano Massimo's mother was the satanic witch Dawn Adams, who was an English actress that married Prince Vittorio Massimo of Roccasca. Prince Stefano Massimo is the father of Prince Valerio Massimo, Prince Cesare Massimo, and Prince Tancredi Massimo, and they all reside in London today. Stefano's sons all assist him with his criminal enterprises. Clerkenwell was nicknamed London's Little Italy for its large Italian population. The Clerkenwell crime syndicate is involved with murder, extortion, drug trafficking, and human trafficking. They are believed to be involved with the Brink's-Mat robbery, consisting of hundreds of millions in stolen cash, diamonds, and gold. The Italian nobility and their mafias have a pattern of committing gold heists. Kenneth Noye is an English gangster and Freemason that was involved in the Brink's-Mat robbery. Noye also killed a police officer that was investigating him and got off on all charges under self-defense. It is possible the Adams crime family murdered the Scottish billionaire Scott Young by throwing him off a building, while the media in the UK claims it was either suicide or the Russian mafia. His reported wealth was never accounted for. The Adams crime family are also allied with the Irish Mafia and Arif's Turkish Mafia. Danny Morrow is a member of the Glasgow Street Gang and a ruthless associate of the Clerkenwell Mafia. Prince Stefano Massimo works as a fashion photographer. Silvio Scaglia is an Italian-Swiss billionaire that lives in London, and he founded and runs Pacific Global Management Group, which owns Elite World, an international model management company. Model agencies have been exposed for their involvement with high-end prostitution. Girls that are not successful in modeling are often brought into prostitution as well. Scaglia was investigated for tax fraud ordered by Rome's anti-mafia public prosecutor, and Scaglia was later acquitted of all charges, like so many other wealthy criminals operating in Rome. The name Rufus means red-haired, and Stefano, Valerio, Tancredi all have red hair. The billionaire Remo Ruffini owns the Italian clothing company Moncler and is an agent of the Massimos. The Massimo family established an Irish noble branch called the Barons Massey in Limerick, where the McCarthy-Dundon crime family operate in. The Massimo family are also part owners of various Irish mafias. In Ireland there is the International Redkeel Rovers crime syndicate, which is involved in high-end thefts at museums and auction houses. Prince Tancredi works as an art appraiser for the Christie's auction house, and he is an owner and advisor of the Redkeel Rovers. Guillaume Cerruti is the CEO of Christie's. The name Tancredi derives from Thankarat. Thankarath, like Rathkeel. The mafia extort and blackmail politicians, bankers, members of the media, and businessmen. They are covert and use violence. Royal and noble families use mafias to do their dirty work. Mafias are criminal business enterprises for the royal and noble families. Members of the mafia are often disposable to them, while others are valuable, and this is why they pay off judges and police to protect them. Prince Stefano's mother Dawn Adams remarried to Jimmy White, in the name White similar to her name Adams, relating to the Adams crime family and English mobster Alfred Henry White, who was at one point an enforcer for Charles Sabini, an English-Italian gangster located in Clerkenwell. Prince Stefano Massimo married and divorced Atalanta Foxwell of England and lives in London today, and their son Prince Valerio Massimo is in business with Duke Edward Spencer Churchill, running Octus Industries, an aerospace company, and SCM Capital Partners. Prince Valerio, Prince Cesare, and Prince Tancredi are also owners of the Clerkenwell Mafia. Some of the British nobility are double agents serving the British Crown and covertly working with the black nobility of Rome. They are using their mafias to threaten and extort politicians, reporters, bankers, and businessmen. The Clerkenwell Mafia have been suspected of being involved in about 25 murders. In 2017, Terry Adams paid about £725,000 equal to $1 million to the UK government in order to stay out of prison for money laundering. Don Adams was born in Felixstowe, where the largest container port in the UK is located. The Clerkenwell Mafia are trafficking drugs, weapons, and humans through the port of Felixstowe. Chief of Felixstowe Police J. Whitby is an agent of the Clerkenwell Mafia. Even most white-collar criminals fear the Black Hand Mafias. Prince Stefano Massimo is a ruthless and murderous terrorist, and his Clerkenwell Mafia operates in the same way. Prince Stefano Massimo with his son Prince Tancredi Massimo. They are the most ruthless and sadistic devils on the planet. Biblical references mention a Babylonian prince called the Son of the Morning who brings down the nations. Prince Stefano Massimo is the son of Don Adams. Dawn is morning. The Massimos make human sacrifices by burning people alive and have been using the Breakspear crematorium in London to make these human sacrifices. The Breakspears are an English-Italian family that produced the only English pope in history. The Breakspear name is translated to Lancerati, a variant to the name Lancelotti. One of the Massimo family branches merged with the Lancelotti family of Campania, creating the Massimo Lancelotti family, which still exist and live in Rome, headed up by Prince Filippo and Prince Ludovico. The Clerkenwell and Ricciel mafias, which the Massimos of Roccasca own, are involved in crimes involving tens of millions to hundreds of millions in a single crime or trafficking operation. I believe these mafias make billions per year. SCM Capital Partners Limited. Financial Services London. Valerio Massimo de Roccasca. London, British customs agents said Tuesday they had seized a large haul of cocaine being shipped into England with a street value of £70 million, $105 million, following a tip from Italian police trying to crack down on mafia drug-running operations. British customs agents moved in when the MV Maipo arrived at the port of Felixstowe on the southern English coast last week. The vessel had travelled from Colombia via Italy to Britain. Victoria Dawn Adams. Adams was born in Felixstowe, Suffolk, England, the daughter of Ethel Mary, née Hickey, and Captain James Ramage Adams, 3. Felixstowe/Felixstowe is a seaside town in Suffolk, England. At the 2011 census, it had a population of 23,689. 1. The port of Felixstowe is the largest container port in the United Kingdom. 2. Stefano Massimo, Prince of Roccasca di Valsai. Birthplace, Greater London, England, United Kingdom. Son of Don Vittorio Emanuele Massimo, Prince of Roccasca and Dawn Adams. A famous example is the Adams family, also known as the Clerkenwell Crime Syndicate, which reportedly still operates in the North London area of Islington. The syndicate has long been associated with drug cartels and was the focus of large-scale investigations into money laundering. They have also been known to invest in legal businesses such as sex shops, as well as offshore properties. He is Terry Adams, the ruthless crime overlord whose eponymous family firm has been linked to 25 murders and, in the words of one underworld figure, makes the craze look like clowns. Raised with his 10 siblings on a tough sink estate in Islington, he ran his crime empire, reputedly worth £100 million and built on drugs, racketeering, and extortion, from a £2.5 million mansion, crammed with expensive artifacts, in Finsbury, North London, pictured. Following the discovery of 11 bars of gold in his home, Noy was on trial again in 1986, along with one of the Adams family, Thomas Adams, which led to his conviction of conspiracy to handle the Brinks-Mat gold, in addition to VAT evasion charges. He received a 14-year prison sentence and was also fined a total of £700,000. Evidence from the scene of tycoon Scott Young's death have been released, as it is claimed he was killed by a Russian hit squad. Mr. Young had also been spotted with Patrick Adams, a member of the North London gang the Addams family, in the months before his death. Mr. Young, who met Mr. Adams in the 90s, was spotted meeting Mr. Adams in a pub months before his death, and subsequently told people he was being looked after, according to BuzzFeed. Charles Derby Sabini, born Ottavio Handley 1888, Saffron Hill, London, died 1950, Hove, Sussex 1, was an English criminal. Although his Clerkenwell-based organization, the coming of the Second World War threatened his power base, because Sabini's power rested on an alliance of Italians and Jewish bookmakers, and with the rise of fascism in Italy, anti-Semitism became more common in London's Italian community. Alfred Henry White, 1887–1942, better known as Big Alf White, was an English gangster, who headed the White Family Street Gang. White became one of the most ruthless and vicious London gangsters between the world wars and was the main force behind the Sabini gang of Clerkenwell. Don Adams. Spouses: Don Vittorio Emanuele Massimo, Prince of Roccasca, M. 1954–1971, 2 children. Jimmy White, 1974–1985. 2. Tancredi Massimo. Tancredi is a valuer in the estates, appraisals and valuations department at Christie's. He is also one of the curators who headed last year's Fantastic Christie's Curates Emerging Art Exhibition. Christie's auctions. Senior leaders of a prolific international gang of rhino horn thieves known as the Raquel Rovers have been convicted of museum raids that netted £57 million. The convictions represent a major police success against a brutal criminal organization. The gang, with strong links to the Irish town and Limerick from which it takes its name, has been linked to museum or auction house raids in at least 16 nations across Europe. Tancred or Tancred is a masculine given name of dramatic origin that comes from thank, thought, and wrath, counsel, meaning well-thought advice. Fair trading is warning consumers and businesses that members of the notorious Raquel Rovers gang of travelers from Ireland, reputed to be one of the world's wealthiest organized crime groups, is active throughout Australia, mainly on the eastern seaboard. Silvio Scaglia, born October 14, in Lucerne, Switzerland 1, is an Italian telecoms entrepreneur, the founder of Fastweb S.p.A. and Babelgum. He is also the founder and current chairman of Pacific Global Management Group, PGM, the holding company that controls the Elite World International network of modeling agencies, Elite and Women Management, in New York and Paris too, and the luxury Italian lingerie brand La Perla. 3. He spent his childhood and youth in Novara, Italy. He is based in London where he lives with his family. On March 13, 2007, Scaglia was questioned for the first time, as former CEO of Fastweb, by Roman magistrates who had been investigating him since 2004 for international tax fraud said to have taken place between 2003 and 2006. On April 13, 2007, the public prosecutor moved to dismiss the charges against Scaglia. The case was dismissed by the judge overseeing preliminary investigations on May 22, 2007. London-based model Jez Egger, who recently turned 20, makes the extraordinary claim that big agencies and established models are involved in seedy underground dealings, with young women paid up to $2 million, £1.54 million, to spend the night with male clients. Remo Ruffini. Real-time net worth $2 billion. Remo Ruffini turned around a nearly bankrupt luxury sportswear firm Moncler, taking the company public in 2013 in one of Italy's largest IPOs in years. Rufus. Roman cognomen which meant red-haired in Latin. Several early saints had this name, including one mentioned in one of Paul's epistles in the New Testament. As a nickname it was used by William II Rufus, a king of England, because of his red hair. It came into general use in the English-speaking world after the Protestant Reformation. This biography states that Prince Stefano Massimo is a fashion photographer. Danny Morrow on the left is a member of the Glasgow street gangs in Scotland and is a human trafficker and cannibalistic murderer. He works with the London crime firms including the Adams Crime Syndicate or A-Team. The Massimos work closely with the Spencer Churchill family, which are owners of Serco, and Serco is in contract with the Glasgow-based Denholm Group, a maritime shipping and naval company that traffics women and children. Danny Morrow needs to be executed immediately. He is soulless evil and nothing more. Serco has been providing marine services to the Royal Navy for over 10 years. Serco Denholm, a joint venture with the Denholm Group, is responsible for supporting the fleet and enabling the Royal Navy to put to sea at the UK's 3 main naval bases at Portsmouth, Devonport, and Faslane. We operate tugs and pilot boats, provide stores, liquid and munitions transportation and provide passenger transfer services to and from ships for officers and crew. Current city Margam, Neath Port Talbot, United Kingdom. There are no bargains between lion and men. I will kill you and eat you raw. This is Prince Stefano Massimo's primary minion and he is pure evil. The Glasgow mobster Danny Morrow started attacking me when I first exposed this psychotic fraud that is utterly obsessed with imitating me. The Massimos are managing him through the Spencer Churchills. Spencer Churchills.